Hello, welcome. This video aims to compare 4 different learning management systems. Being a teacher isn't just one job, it's 100,000 little jobs. This quote by Martin Odema Jr. resonates with me on a deep level. This epitomizes what it's like as a modern teacher, which is why a comprehensive learning management system is essential for today's teacher. A learning management system makes a teacher's job easier by being a one-stop shop for all of those 100,000 jobs we have to do each day. The 4 systems featured here are Canvas, Schoology, Google Classroom, and School Loop. I personally have used 3 of these systems as either a teacher and learner on some of them, which is why I chose them, except for Schoology, which I've heard about and was curious to learn more. The audience for which this analysis is presented is for K-12, with particular emphasis on the needs of a middle school teacher, my personal area of expertise. And speaking of such, I know what my colleagues and I value, which is being easy to use and start up, not having too steep of a learning curve. The teachers at my school can range from tech savvy to virtual novices. So we all want to be the most efficient, to not waste time when we have families and other responsibilities. Ideally, an LMS will be flexible, scalable, and functional enough for a wide variety of both styles and uses. It needs to serve all types of teachers, so one can use as few or as many features as wanted or needed. The methodology used here was to start with researching for LMSs, and then I summed up an overview of each. The analysis gives a snapshot grade of some of the key important features from my perspective. And next, I'll highlight the pros and cons of the top 2 contenders, and finally present my recommendation. Canvas can be used for K-12 up to the university level and is suited for both in-person learning and online. It has a pretty steep learning curve for newcomers, especially if you have no experience with web page creation. It is not intuitive. Features are hidden deep inside the menus. In addition, the elementary mode is not really much simpler. Organizing resources in modules, the quiz making tools, and grading with rubrics make it a huge upgrade, though, from what we have used before in my district. Schoology seems like it does everything Canvas did, but adds in a few missing pieces. Attendance can be built in with seating charts. The resources organization seems even better with the use of folders. The assessment tools and grading seem identical to Canvas. Homepage setup seems just a bit easier to make than Canvas, and the elementary mode looks much better suited for K-12 use. Google Classroom is so easy to get up and running. You don't really set up a homepage, so no editing or HTML is needed. It is perfectly ready for all Google apps. Grading with rubrics is just as robust as with Canvas and Schoology. Organizing resources is on par with the modules in Canvas. The gradebook is integrated, but you can export scores to a spreadsheet if using another gradebook. Doesn't seem to hook up with school-wide systems. So you can only communicate with your own students. School Loop is a simple site that is stronger on the gradebook side and mostly made for in-person teaching. It has homepage capabilities, but they're a bit clunky and you don't need to use it. The locker can integrate with Google Drive, so all your files can be available to whoever you share your locker with. The seating chart feature is great, and you can look up and see any student's grades or schedule in your entire school. This is really great for if you're tutoring or you have an advisory class or clubs. And these are some of the most missed features since my school stopped using School Loop. So I chose 5 categories in which to focus that were important to my colleagues and myself. These are features that I know firsthand are what we middle school teachers heavily rely on and need for a smooth running year. We need to be able to have a hardy test creation application with post-analysis features. It needs to be easy to set up, especially the homepage. Seating charts are a key part of any classroom management system, so this is one of the top requested features. Being able to grade with rubrics and have lots of other features is essential. Finally, how the LMS manages the organization of resources is key. It needs to be simple yet comprehensive. As for initial homepage setup, Canvas and Schoology are as simple as using any document editing software. Your mileage may vary depending on how complex you want to get. Google Classroom doesn't really even have a homepage setup, so it's kind of automatically set up for you with little customization. School Loop has a type of block editor not dissimilar to Google Slides or EduBlogs. Again, it just depends how simple or complex you want to get. Overall, Canvas and Schoology are really similar, other than Schoology actually having some seating charts. They're just not great. And Google Classroom is kind of limited. It's not really a one-stop shop, as well as School Loop. It's not really suited for online instruction. What we look at comparing and contrasting Canvas and Schoology are top contenders, though. Both use tiles on a dashboard, so they look really similar. Homepage creation is similar with the rich text editor. Grading with rubrics is practically the same and same with assessment and quizzes creation. The post-analysis reports look identical. Schoology looks easier for elementary, while Canvas is going to be stronger for secondary and beyond. Schoology offers third-party integration like Canvas, tons of different apps and resources. Schoology can even import assignments and announcements from your Google Classroom. So if you're coming from that way, that might be a plus. Canvas's steeper learning curve could be solved with a bit more training, as suggested by Fatima and Akanda's 2020 study on users' prior experiences with LMSs. Taking into account attendance and elementary mode, Schoology really seems to be kind of the icing on the cake that edges it over the finish line compared to Canvas. If Canvas were to build up their elementary themes and integrate a customizable seating plan into it, then it would rival everything that Schoology offers.